Are you concerned about what's been happening of late? Because you can say that, smartphone sales are tanking, for example, in China, but the Chinese authorities sent a pretty clear signal: don't buy Apple, buy Xiaomi, buy Huawei. And considering the tit for tat, do you think that we're going to see, government officials being told, don't get your coffee at Starbucks, get it at Luckin instead?
It's possible. It's definitely possible. And there's also, again, there's this creeping sense among Chinese consumers that they try to buy in China. Now, Starbucks' attitude in China has been, and it's been disappointing. It looked promising last year when things were starting to open up, and they had planned to open more stores there. They're still understored, even though I think they have about 600 there. But they're a premium sort of luxury brand. They're not going to, lower their price because they try to present themselves as better tasting, better service, etc. But the Luckins and other competitors have been very aggressive on pricing and going after that. So yes, it is a concern in China. The thing right now, though, I think the Starbucks, there is nothing in the stock for China. It is, I certainly last year, had been very much a fan of the stock when it was higher and thinking that China was a great option. But I think at this moment, the stock is not discounting any China snapback, because I think it remains to be seen. If it does, it'll be a nice addition.
Yeah, and it's really weird, because everyone's having the same problem. Even McCormick, you'd never think of it, and they're like, they're doing salt and pepper, and they're saying that the China youth employment is hitting their sales in China. So you can just imagine for someone like Starbucks. But let's move on from Starbucks, because you have another company that is a very topic du jour company, and that is, of course, Boeing. Were you pleased that Calhoun is calling time at the company, and maybe we're going to see, a return to them being an engineering firm rather than a shareholder allocation firm?
Yeah, well, this is another one like Starbucks that has a little bit of hair on it, a lot of hair, but it's really about what is being discounted in both stocks. And Boeing with Calhoun, unfortunately, when you've had such ongoing problems, they had seemed to recover. I had stayed away from the stock for a few years, but then it really seemed they were past all the troubles. And really the cash flow projections, 10 million in the 25, 26 timeframe, seemed very attractive. And then, of course, the door blew off. And lots of other things have happened that I think perhaps are overblown, but it lends to this, this aura of credibility. And of course, the regulators have come down. So I think that senior management had to be changed. If for nothing else, even if the board had confidence, you have to show that you are serious about change. And that always starts at the top. And so I think it's good that they are looking outside the company, because they do need fresh eyes. I think it could be a tough role to fill, but they're going to need somebody who really gets, about the quality and the compliance and what they need to do, and really needs to look at there's been some questions about whether their outsourced strategy really kind of backfired in terms of not being able to control the quality, of their suppliers. So it's an interesting time. I think, what we know, it's an oligopoly. Their backlog is 8 to 9 years. There will be more orders. It's not a demand issue. It's been an execution and safety issue. And so they are working to sort that out. We don't know the timing because we don't know what the regulators are going to say. Right now, their max production is way down. But at some point, it's going to be back. And by year end, we're going to know a lot more, and it's probably going to be positive. And then the stock will have already moved. So I think the risk reward here is very attractive.